Yo guys, how's it going? Hope you are good. Now, as you probably do know, Randolph has recently announced his brand new grading service called Ace Grading, and today I'm going to be doing a breakdown and giving you my honest opinion on what I think of the slabs, the service, everything, the whole shabam. So if you do enjoy this video, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Now, I will just quickly mention I am friends with Randolph. You may have seen him on my channel before, but I am going to be reviewing this objectively. This won't be biased. If there's things I don't like, I will say. If there are things I do like, I obviously will say so without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. This is my honest opinion, honest review of the information we know so far. And also, I just want to say shout out to Randolph. He's actually gone out and done something he's really proud and passionate about and made a grading service. It's not an easy thing to do, so we have to give him props for that. And it is also only going to strengthen the UK scene and stuff like that, so big props to Randolph. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it and watch a bit of the trailer and have a look at the labels and the slabs.
Is one of the early prototypes. There's so much more. So
as I mentioned, this is a prototype. Here is a closer look. So we have obviously the Pokemon or the card in the biggest font on the left and in a different color. The slab, I think that's black. I think some people said it was like navy. It looks like it's black, golden, and white, which is cool. I really like the colorway. I think that it's I think they really complement each other. One thing I have noticed straight off the bat is that this label doesn't have subgrades. It would have been nice to have subgrades in it, but also saying that, I think that sometimes subgrades on some graded cards actually kind of just makes the label look too busy, and it makes it look really cramped. So I feel like if that was the case with this, then maybe that's actually a good shout not to have subgrades. But it is always good to kind of see the specifics of why this card has this grade. I think the colorways really work well, and this does have quite like a modern and fresh look to it. Okay, so here's the back of the label. I actually really like this. I think this looks really professional, and I think it looks very clean as well. I am actually a big fan of the logo. I think it stands out really well. I think it's simplistic. I think that it also just kind of goes straight to the point, and I like the logo too. I think it's really cool, and it kind of matches the colorway of the front, which is really cool as well. So obviously we have a QR code. There's also, I think they're like security things. I'm sure he'll talk about it in a second. But from the back, I am actually a massive fan of the back of this label. All right, what's next?
Now let's move on to the label, which actually goes hand in hand with the case. And the exact same philosophy we have with the case applies to the label. I'm very proud to announce that Ace Grading will offer its submitters 3 choices of labels.
Okay.
We have the standard label,
right,
we have the color match label, and then we have the elusive Ace label.
So we just saw all 3 of the labels. We can actually look at these a little bit further now. So this is the color match label, which it says what it does on the tin. It literally, the label color matches the card. So as you can see there, we have a Charmeleon, which is orange/red, and the label is the same color. So that's pretty cool that they've given that as an option. I'm sure a lot of people would like to do that. In terms of practicality though, I don't know how that's gonna pan out. Like for, if say you had, well, it can either go 2 ways, and I think it's actually just going to be opinion. Like it depends on the person, because say they have the whole collection of a set and they do the color match for each card. When you look at that, it's going to be just so colorful, where some people are going to love that. It's going to look different, it's going to look modern, it's going to look vibrant. But then some people may just like kind of like having their whole collection with just like the PSA label as well. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to pan out in the long run, but I genuinely think it's going to be down to the personal preference of some people will love this idea of having like a color match label, or some people would just like what they have at the moment of a uniformed label that's the same for every single card, and it kind of just looks like that. Personally, I don't know. I'm open to change. I've only ever owned a PSA card, so I love this label, but that is because I'm used to it. I haven't ever had a card like this. I don't know what it looks like in person. I don't know what it looks like to have a load of them behind me with different color match labels and stuff like that. So I'm open to it. I guess it's for a lot of people. It's just change, and it's just something that people probably get used to. So that is the color match label. One thing that will bug me with this color match label is that if the label isn't the same color as the card, like it just looks off, I think that will put a lot of people off. So I hope Randolph is literally got it on point, and that the color definitely matches the card that it is graded. So we can move on now to the next label, if I can find it, which is here, which is the Ace label. Now this is the most premium label by the looks of it, and I actually believe it costs £5 more to get this label. And I also believe that it only is available for certain cards, but I really like this. look on this Umbreon EX card. I think it looks really cool how you have the colorway of basically the background of the EX card, and it looks really cool. The one thing I will say is that there's two things I actually want to say, is that it's interesting that if this is for a limited time, would that mean there will become rarer graded cards? Because you would then have, say you got this Umbreon graded in an Ace label, and then 2 months down the line, Ace grading say, right, we're no longer doing the Umbreon EX Ace label. Then that in itself is quite a rare card to have, because you can have a Gem Mint 10 Umbreon EX from Ace grading, but then you can have a Gem Mint 10 Ace label Umbreon EX. Like, so that'll be interesting if that kind of becomes a thing where you kind of have like a rarer graded card, which then could potentially like be worth more money. But then the other thing I wanted to say about the Ace grading label is that I really hope that it doesn't take away from the actual grade of the card, because when I look at graded cards, that's the first thing I look at. It is the grade of the card. Like, I can look at the card, but you can look at a card raw. But when you have a graded card, the first thing you look at is the grade. And I'm just worried that with all the kind of like colors going on the label, it kind of takes away from the grade of the card. But I don't know, it may be different in person. Obviously, it's something new. It may be for certain cards, it may actually complement other cards, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. So yeah, that's one thing worth noting. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But yeah, that's the 3 labels you can get, and this one is £5 more than the standard. Now, if we look here, I've just skipped on a little bit because I just want to talk about the actual slab itself. Now, one thing that when you get your cards graded is you want it to protect your card. Like, that's the whole reason of getting cards graded. And by the looks of it, and I've definitely heard Randolph say, he has wanted to create one of the most premium slabs out there. And by the looks of this does look like he has achieved that. It does look a really thick slab. It looks really well protected. It looks like it can take any little knocks or stuff like that. I wouldn't recommend you go and bashing your graded cards, but it looks like it does have that premium look to it. Obviously, it would be easy to judge by having it in my hand and seeing how it holds in my hand, but from the look, it does look like a premium case. The one thing I will hope is, or would love to see, is how it feels in your hand, like comfortable wise, if that makes sense. Like, I know there are some card or graded cards out there which feel a little bit different in your hand, like it's like either too big or too thin and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to just see how it feels in your hand. But in terms of look and of premium quality slabs, that does look like Ace grading has done the job on that, and it does look like a very, very, very good slab. Oh, also one thing with the slabs that Randolph hasn't said yet, and I hope that they do announce, or if it is going to be a thing, is will these slabs be UV light protected? That is something that I think if you're trying to be modern, that needs to be a thing, because I would love to like display my graded cards in my backdrop, but my window is literally shining at my stuff. So eventually, if I was to do this or have this here for years or whatever, however long, eventually this card is going to fade due to damage from UV light. So I feel like if this is UV light protected as well, I think that would be a game changer, because then I would be able to have my graded cards like in the face of sunlight and not worry as much as if it wasn't to have it. So that's another thing. I hope that they have that. We don't know yet. Like, maybe Randolph is going to announce some more stuff. He has said that they are going to announce more and more as time goes on. So yeah, hopefully that does become a thing. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the allocation service. Now, this is actually something that I'm really, really impressed with. So basically, what Randolph and Ace Grading have announced is that there is this allocation system where when Ace Grading reach or nearly reach max capacity, the system of that submission actually pauses so that they never go over capacity, and then once they've kind of released some cards back to people, it will then resume again. So I really like that they kind of have put in things that is going to get them kind of like stuck with loads of submission that PSA is currently dealing with at the moment. So I think that's a really cool thing that they've done. I'm very, very impressed with that. So shout out to that. By them doing that, I hope it kind of keeps the turnaround times as minimal as possible for them. And actually, speaking of turnaround times, so how it works with the actual submissions is that they currently have two services, or they're going to have two services from the off that are going to be available, and that is bulk and standard. Now, bulk is £10 a card, which is actually really, really affordable. That's another positive of this. I'm actually really impressed with that they're doing £10 a card, and the maximum you can do for bulk at the moment is 60 cards, and that has a 60-day turnaround. So from sending them off, you should get them back within 60 days. And then the standard submission is £15 a card, and I think that is a 30-day turnaround. And also, it is worth noting, I think I did mention that if you want the ACE grading label or the ACE label, that is going to be an extra £5 per label. So if you wanted to do a card that is standard for £15, but you wanted the ACE label, that would actually be £20 a card. And then if you wanted to do bulk, that would be £15 a card with the ACE label. Now, in terms of my honest opinion, and my initial thoughts on this, I think I should kind of give you my conclusion, I guess, is that I think that Randolph has stated this, that this is, for the time being, definitely more for the collectors. I think that that is their main priority, is the collectors, not the people who want to kind of get cards graded, invest, and then sell on and stuff like that. And I think it will be hard, and you can't really, or it would be silly to judge it against PSA, because they have literally been in the game for so long, and you can't just compare a brand new company that's just started to one of the most established grading companies there is. So I think that it's going to take some time, so it would be silly to compare it to PSA. And like I said, I think this is for the collectors. If you are a collector and you're not really worried about the value of your cards and you just want to get them protected, I think this is a great option for you. Like, it is very, very affordable, and there is some really impressive turnaround times at the moment. So I think this is awesome. If you're from the UK, I think it'd be great to support it, and I think it is a great option for you as well. And personally, if you're someone like me, who, if you haven't seen my most recent video before this, I have literally just done a submission video of all the cards I'm looking to get submitted. Well, it's not even all of them, it's just a section of them, and I'm currently stuck on what to do, because I literally don't want to wait for PSA turnaround times, which is like a year plus. And then also, the minimum service I can do, I think, is $200 a card, which is like, that's just not affordable for me right now. So I think now I have a new option that I can take into account of what I want to do with those cards that is affordable, and I will get my cards back quickly. So as I was saying, I'm very impressed with Ace grading. I think they are definitely going down the modern route. It looks very different. You have the 3 labels, which is pretty unique. I don't think anyone else has done that. There may be one in America, I believe, that kind of does the color match, I think, but definitely not around here in the UK. Personally, I absolutely love the PSA labels, but that is because, like, this is all I'm used to. This is the only card, not the only card, but this is the only graded company cards that I own is PSA cards, and it's something I'm used to. So I believe that I am open to change. I'm always open to seeing new things, and I kind of live life with an open mind. But I do love the PSA cards. But it would be interesting to see whether I would like kind of having a selection of cards behind me that have the different colorway labels, or maybe like an Ace label. I think it's one thing that you just kind of have to experience, I guess. I can't just give my full opinion on whether I like it or not by just looking at it on a computer screen. But it will be interesting to see if I do like having kind of different labels. And also, it would be interesting to see if they do the Ace labels for a limited time, whether that kind of boosts the value of Ace label cards or graded cards, because you can then kind of have like different variations of a graded card, which would be interesting. In terms of the allocation system, I'm super impressed with that. I think that's awesome what they're doing in the kind of like the pausing system, where if it reaches max capacity, then they'll pause that until they kind of have sent out all the other cards and can get back to kind of getting to that capacity that they're used to. So I really am impressed with that, so they don't go over the top and kind of have more cards than they can deal with. And then also, I'm super impressed with the price. I'm very happy that it's very affordable for a lot of people, and the turnaround times sound amazing if you're comparing it to a PSA, which is taking some people for over a year. So 60 days or 30 days is sounding amazing right now. I can't lie. The slabs look very premium made. They look like they'll protect your card very well. Going back to the labels as well, the one thing I will say with the ace label, like I mentioned, I hope it doesn't take away from the actual graded number, because I feel like that's when you get cards graded, that's the main thing you're looking for, is how good the grade is. So I hope that the color or whatever they do with the ace grade label design, I hope it doesn't take away from the actual grade number itself. And it's a shame that there aren't subgrades. However, I do kind of understand if it makes the label a lot more clustered and cramped, then I think I'd actually prefer if it didn't have them. But yeah, subgrades are pretty decent, and it's a little bit of a shame that they're not on it. But also, it would be good to see that if they announce that there's going to be UV lighting protection on the slabs as well. So yeah, I think ultimately it will just take some time. If you're someone that has graded for a long time and you're used to the look of a PSA grade or a Beckett or whatever, I think it will take some time getting used to, because this does look a lot more modern and different to what we're used to. However, I am open to it. I'm open to seeing how cool these cards will look with the ace labels, the color matches and all that kind of stuff. And that was always going to be the case when there's a new grading company starting out. You literally have to start from somewhere, and it's cool that they're doing something different and not just doing the same old thing that everyone has been doing. So you kind of got to give some props to that, and hopefully it goes well for them. But the one other thing I will mention is that it will be interesting to see if the price of a ace graded card compares to the price of a PSA card eventually. Obviously at the beginning probably won't, but yeah, only time will tell, I guess. But yeah, that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Hopefully you have found it helpful. If you have, hit that thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe. I'm looking forward to seeing these cards in person. Hopefully I can manage to get my hands on some ace graded cards, and then I can give you an actual in-person review. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on ace grading yourself. Are you excited about the labels? What do you like? What don't you like? I want to read all your opinions and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Until then, I am